7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hey everybody, welcome to IFB Interfleet Broadcasting. It's a pop culture sci-fi entertainment channel brought to you by two guys that grew up watching 70s and 80s TV and movies and cartoons and all kinds of good stuff. I'm New York Pete, and this is my buddy Chris, the Tipsy Toaster. Chris, how's it going, man?
I unmuted everybody but myself. Yeah, outstanding. I think that's a shirt everyone needs because of all the Zoom meetings and everything else. It should see I'm on mute. You know.
Yes, I'm on mute. That's right.
I'm on mute.
I agree, man, because it seems like we always are. Yeah. So, hey, tonight's going to be a great night, guys. We have a great guest waiting, and so you got to stay tuned. I hope you guys like the opening, right, Chris? I mean, we had Chris Dykes and Chuck Davenport set up modeling and animation for that great intro. I hope you guys enjoyed that, man, because that is slamming. So now IFB
cool.
You get to see IFB's ship, man, floating around and flying around. So that is outstanding, fracking outstanding. So
and if you missed it, rewind and watch it again.
Oh yeah, you gotta, because it's really, really cool. Yeah, so we got that going on, and we're gonna have, of course, our usual. And Chris, let's just, what the heck? Let's just jump in. Let's do the toast,
all right.
And then we'll Chris Laskowski from Down Under in Australia. Good day, everyone. Good day to you, sir. Brightest for hailing frequencies. Brightest day is on. Paul Roeder. None other than Commander Keen is live with us over on the YouTube station. So thanks for joining us live, guys. So we got Australia on, we got the West Coast on,
and Jeff's over there on Facebook.
Yeah. Oh, good. Okay. So let me check in on that. You're gonna monitor Facebook a little bit, Chris. And
I'll try to monitor everything. That's what I do. I push the buttons. That's what Cylons do, man.
Yeah. You're the tech.
And
tech
I'm in
Cylon
heaven tonight, so I'm good.
Yeah, yes, you are. Yes, you are.
Because
Cylons rule, colonials drool.
Here we go. All right. You get to have one night, of course. You got that one guest that's right up in your corner. So, hey, tonight's your night, Chris. No problem. Let's do our toast, Chris.
All right. So tonight's beer was brought to you by my wallet.
Okay.
My wallet, coming soon to the pair of pants near me. So tonight I am drinking.
Oh boy, what is
Woot
that?
Stout.
Stone
Woot Stout, and it says on the back of mine.
Yeah.
It says over the years, Stone Farking Wheaton Woot Stout has become one of the most anticipated annual releases, not just because of an outstandingly flavorful beer concocted in collaboration with Fark's Drew Curtis, Nerd Royalty Will Wheaton, and Stone Brewing co-founder Greg Koch. It's the incredible label art adorning It's the incredible label art adorning this. I can't talk tonight. Beer over the years that has elevated it to the pinnacle of beer geekery and beer geekery. This year's heroic artwork comes from Tom Rainey, who has history of drawing comics at Marvel and DC from X-Men to Batman. His label depicts a super-powered mecha gargoyle ready to spring into action to protect the sublime sanctity of great craft beer.
Okay.
So
all right, finish that up, will you please? My humble Modelo.
Let's zoom in on that, Pete.
Yes, the humble Modelo is courtesy of my brother-in-law Tommy that visited, and we had some beers, and he left one behind. So, hey, Tommy, thanks. This is brought to you by my brother-in-law,
Tommy. By Tommy's wallet.
Yeah, that's right. So thanks, everybody. All right, you ready? You ready to open them up?
Sure. So everybody, let's
do it.
get this open up.
Okay, ready? One,
Yep.
2, 3. Yours sounded a little, I don't know. All right,
What?
go. Whoa, that's dark. Yours
Yeah,
is
it's dark.
man. Woof.
I like dark beers. I like my beers
Wow.
chewy.
Yeah, that's for sure. George G in the house from Studio 44. George is on break over at Studio 44. Thanks for joining us. George is part of the team. So, George, thanks for watching. Jeff Walters, thank you for watching us live as well. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. So,
Is George still on set at ESPN?
yeah, he's on set. Yeah, he's
Okay.
on set. Brady State, I say the same exact thing about my beer, Chris. Yeah, no kidding. All right, well, guys, Chris,
Yep.
do the toast, man.
This is to you, to all the fans, because we believe fans fuel the fleet. Without the fans, the fleet doesn't go anywhere. And it's important that we get people in front of the camera, but it's more important we get people behind the camera like we have tonight. Those people who create the universe for us, we are really appreciative of them, and we're really appreciative of all the fans that keep the fandom going. So here's to you.
Yes, Chris
Fans
Dykes,
fuel the fleet.
Chuck Davenport, and
Chris.
Eric Chu. This is to you.
Thank you very much.
All right. Ooh, that's nice. Nice Modelo crisp. All right. Just regular beer, man. Just regular beer.
I mentioned this thing's
That's
11.5% alcohol. Woo!
Yeah, you drink that all yourself, buddy. You go ahead. Enjoy. All right. So, well, yes, I am, but at CBS Sports Network. Oh, that's from George. Okay, George. Yeah, he's at CBS Sports Network on break, and he's tuning in, watching us live. Thanks for joining, George. Appreciate it. Hopefully you get a chance to stick around, but if not, definitely check back, because we have Eric Chu with us. So we're going to get a whole bunch of insight on, all the kind of, concept designing and we got his book, and we're going to look at some of that stuff. And it's all about Cylons tonight. So
Yes!
It's okay. It's okay.
Because we all know.
Nobody panic. Go side. Oh boy. All right. Put that away, man. Ooh.
Cylons rule, Colonials drool.
Yeah, whatever. Okay, calm down. All right, so I hope everybody's having a great time. And do we have John One? Is our news anchor with us? He is. John One is waiting in the wings. John, welcome to the show, man. Are you ready to go?
Yes, sir. All ready. Just getting my little minions ready, and they're all ready for to report. How you guys doing?
Outstanding.
Good, man. Good. So, hey, everybody. John, you realize that your turn is going to be up next month, right? We did Tiny Bean Tara. We did a spotlight on the team member. So you're going to be the next team member up next month. So, yeah. Come on. So you're going to have your
respect.
15 minutes of fame. And, just keep that back of your head.
All right. Are we all set?
We're all
Looking forward
set.
to hearing about the Cylons tonight. About time we get represented.
Cylons representing the night.
That's for sure.
All right. Hello, everyone. John One reporting for Interfleet Broadcasting. Punisher fans will be happy. A new Punisher series is coming to Hulu with John Bernthal as the Punisher. I think that role fits him just like no one else. I think he's going to be the original Punisher.
He's a perfect Punisher.
It actually makes sense because it's going to Hulu and not Disney Plus, because Punisher, he punishes people, so it's good. It's too violent for Disney. So look for that. Look for that on Hulu this year, 2023 maybe. There we go. It will be, and Amazon will be developing a series for Blade Runner with Ridley Scott, who directed the original one over 40 years ago. I actually think this is the 40th anniversary of Blade Runner.
Ah, what a great show.
Wow. Man, that was a good movie. And when it's still on, I still sit and watch it. That's one of those movies where you just stop everything and watch it. Oh, I don't have time to watch my Blade Runner. Harrison Ford. And then another series coming back will be Futurama. Hulu has ordered 20 new episodes with a lot of the original cast. The voices, except for John DiMaggio, who voiced Bender, will not be coming back because of money. He's waiting for the
Yeah,
good
I heard
stuff.
about that. And everybody's upset about that too.
Yeah, I mean, hoping maybe they can bring John Goodman back as that Santa robot that started killing people.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no kidding.
That was a great episode. But John DiMaggio, he's pretty busy now. He's doing he's in New Orleans right now, working on Interview with the Vampire series for AMC.
Oh, wow.
And another remake. Remember Saturday morning cartoons? Well, HBO is making a live series of the Wonder Twins. Why?
Why? Exactly. Why?
Why? They
Well,
were
I can tell you
horrible. I don't
why.
wanna-
Form of, more money. Shape of, a
Yeah,
sequel.
I mean, a whole series of them turning into purple monkeys and elephants is just too much, you know. And I was thinking about that. You know what would be good? A good series, a Lex Luthor series that's set to like House of Cards. You know, like, hello everybody, I tried to shoot Superman with my Krypton rifle, but it didn't go so good. That'd be pretty great, right?
Hell yeah.
Oh, hell yeah.
Now that my minions are definitely gonna get better minions. Now that Book of Boba Fett is done, for now we look to the next series. Star Wars Obi-Wan Kenobi will hit Disney Plus May 25th.
Yes.
Ooh.
Star Wars: The Search
we
for
can
More
see it.
Money.
Yep, we can see if Hayden Christensen's acting got better, or hopefully they don't bring back Jar Jar Binks. But
Yes, Jar
Oh,
Jar
God,
Binks.
don't
start that.
You did it.
Oh,
You did
Hayden.
it. I have to do it now. I have to do it
how
now.
to do it?
I have to do it. You mentioned this was the best character in all of Star Wars.
Oh,
They need to remake
God.
the Star Wars with Jar Jar Binks. It shouldn't have been Obi-Wan Kenobi. It should have been a Jar Jar Binks story.
I'm taking that away from you the next time I go over there.
and now the movie I'm dreading seeing is the Batman hits theaters March 4th. Robin Pattinson as
Yeah.
Batman. I just don't see it. I think it's supposed to be a brooding, sad Batman, not emo
Yeah.
Batman. But
yeah.
maybe they'll change my mind. It should be good. The guy that plays the Penguin is good in it too, so I'm looking forward to seeing that. So hit theaters March 4th. And I guess everyone's seen the trailer for Amazon's Lord of the Rings series. Can you believe that there is a petition to have the female dwarves have beards? Do they have beards in the books?
A
What?
I don't
petition?
know.
Really?
Yeah, it's actually a real petition that they want the females that play the dwarves to have beards on them.
That's kind of weird. Okay. All right.
But
Where do I
Whatever,
sign?
that
man.
trailer hit
Whatever.
257 million views in 24 hours. It just broke records.
Wow.
Unbelievable.
Insane.
But that's gonna be a good series. It's worth every cent. And Marvel fans, get your binge on Netflix because Daredevil, Jessica Jones, was it Iron Fist, and what's the other one? The other movie. It's all gonna go away in
Cable?
March. Yeah, they're gonna go for Netflix, and they're probably going to Disney. We don't
I
know
love
yet.
Jessica Jones. I do really like that show. So
Jessica Jones is good. Even Daredevil was pretty good. The guy that played Daredevil was going to be in
Daredevil.
I wasn't much of a Daredevil person.
the movie. It was pretty
It was good, man. I liked it. Liked it a lot.
Iron Fist. I was just couldn't get into it.
I watched
And
the
there was
whole
another.
thing.
Yeah, did you like it?
Yeah, I did.
It wasn't like the cartoon. I mean, the comic. The comic was a little more better, but
Yeah,
you know,
yeah, I agree.
I still haven't seen the Defenders with all four of them. That might be this weekend's show, but
Cool.
if I have time. But another Star Trek movie is on the way with J.J. Abrams cast. Chris Pine will be captain, and all I can hear is Scotty saying, "Oh, Captain, we can't have any more. The engines can't take it. How much more Star Trek are we gonna have?"
Star Trek: The Quest for More Money. Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh boy, they're flooding it now.
Yep.
And all this
All
time,
right, well-
where's Battlestar? You know,
We're still waiting. Yeah,
What the frack? Where's Battlestar? I got all these
Waiting.
other people going.
everything is quiet on all fronts. We're not getting anything on it. So hopefully that movie I reported before in March about a fan movie coming out, but I haven't heard anything on yet. So I'm still working on that. But as for that, that's John One signing off. Looking forward to seeing the show tonight. And back to you guys. Everyone have a good night.
All right,
Thanks a
John.
lot,
Thanks
John.
for joining us.
Thank you.
Very cool. Let's see. Well, over on the Facebook feed, Lola's and John Repper and Jeff Walters, Carl Cullenschmidt, and Chris Dykes, of course, watching. Let's see who else we got. Paul's there watching on both. Scott, thanks for joining us. Yeah, man. So cool. We got both feeds, both live feeds working. We got Facebook and we have our YouTube. So thanks for joining us, everybody. Appreciate it. And everybody that's watching around the world in rerun, of course, all our fans and friends in Vietnam and Brazil, in the UK.
I can't believe how many people in Vietnam watch us, by the
South
way.
Africa.
I don't get it.
And Canada. And even in Chile, right? We have friends in Chile that watch too. So,
Brazil, yep.
Thanks. Yep. So thank you guys in advance. I know you guys will be watching this in a rerun, and everybody else that's on, come on and, give us a shout out. And if you have any questions for our guest tonight, Eric Chu, the concept designer for, Battlestar Galactica and a whole bunch of other stuff, and great shows that you all know. We're going to talk about those. So we have Eric standing by. Chris, are we ready to go? Because if we are, man, I'm anxious to talk to him. We're honored to have him on board, and we have his book. Chris has a great. He just got it in, and so we have the overhead camera. We're going to be able to open that up and look at some of the concept art that he actually worked on, and give us a little bit of backstories. I have some good questions that I'm going to pose. So if any of you guys have any questions for him, put them up, and I'm going to pass them on to him. So. Without further ado, Chris, our guest tonight, Eric Chu, concept designer. He's had a pretty long history. His IMDb is chock full of all kinds of great stuff, and I'm anxious to get it, get him on, and let's talk. Let's talk some sci-fi and Galactica, man. Let's do this. You ready? Oh boy, there we go. Eric, welcome to the show, man. How's it going?
Hey. Good.
All right. So, Eric, we were working on trying to get you, and we're glad that you're here. Chris and I, we were talking about first thing when your book came out was, man, if we could just imagine if we get Eric on our show. And I was like, well, I know Chris is a big Cylon, right? The Tipsy Toaster. He's a big Cylon fan. And so, you actually did concept art. You designed some of the key ships in the reimagined Battlestar Galactica. So tell us a little bit about that. How did that come about?
Well, hang on for a second. How difficult was it to get a hold of me?
It wasn't too bad. It just
no.
So let me do this one. So I had sent to get a hold of Eric. I sent a request. Gosh, I want to say as soon as the book came out, I sent a request. Hey, it would be great to talk to you. Maybe you could plug your book, and then we can talk about the Cylon stuff. And I thought for a while we got blown off. I was like, well, Eric's not talking to me, I guess. I used the Facebook, the app, and I researched, the company that you do, and I found the company on there. So I sent the Facebook Messenger, and it was sat there for about 2 months or a month.
Really?
Yeah. And then you wrote back, it's like, I just saw this. And I'm like, oh my gosh, it's him. He's talking to us now.
Yay!
When did you tell me the first one?
Oh, let's see here. The first one was, okay, let's get a date now. We're gonna put this out.
Hey, Eric, we were like, oh, this is an A-list designer, man. He's not gonna
listen. He's not gonna want to talk to us.
Yeah, come on.
So let's see. January. Nope. Before that. November 18th, 2021, 4:04 p.m. I sent it to Paranoid Delusions.
I honestly don't know where that email went. I don't even know if I received it, because the first message I got from you, I pretty much answered right away.
Yeah.
So I don't know, spam folder or something.
That's all right.
Anyways,
you were so open after the contact was made. It was like, oh yeah, sure, we'll come. I'll come on. I'm like, really? You want to talk to us? We're not worthy. We're not worthy.
Well, needless to say, Eric, thanks for being here.
Sure. What was your question?
Well, Eric, can you give us fly us into a little bit of your mindset on getting up to speed with Battlestar Galactica? You were a sci-fi fan, and then the one big thing that is bringing us all together is obviously your the Galactica, concept art that you worked on, and you were very successful with that, and everybody loves it, loves it, continues to love it. So, can you give us a little bit of, how does that all happen?
Okay. I think what people should understand about Battlestar Galactica is when SyFy decided to do the show, they really they didn't really have a clear idea of what they wanted to do. I mean, it was all over the place. I mean, I think they had contacted David Icke and Ronald Moore, and they apparently it had been who was it that had it first? Bryan Singer had it first.
Singer, yep.
And then he went off to do something else, and then so they contacted Ronald, and so at that point things happened really quickly and we didn't really know. They didn't really have a good idea of what they wanted to do at the very beginning. I read the script. The script was given to me. I read the script and I went, "Wow, this is a really good script, but this isn't really Battlestar Galactica, at least not from what I remember." And at that time, they were, trying to just explore, what's this thing going to look like? They, at one point it was, they were thinking, should the Galactica be a, rundown submarine kind of look, or they were even exploring, Stanley Kubrick's 2001, that sort of look, which would have been interesting, but very, very expensive and very difficult to do. So it came down to one weekend where SyFy came up to Vancouver, and at that point they still haven't given us a green light. We had started, doing some drawings and stuff, but they said, "You know what, we're coming up to take a look to see what you guys have done. If we don't see anything we like, we're going to, pull the plug. Forget it." So
wow,
that weekend, yeah, I mean, basically, and we didn't have any clear idea, is it going to look like this? Is it going to look like that? And I was given, suggestions like, we want to think of something like Frank Lloyd Wright, or it was all over the map. I couldn't, I would do a drawing like this, and I would do a drawing like that, and they, believe me, they looked terrible. They looked horrible, and I was really appalled because I knew that the fans were just going to kill me if any of those designs.
Wow.
Yeah, because they didn't look like it, and that's the thing. The mandate from up high was, we don't want it to look like the old show.
Really?
Period. Yeah. I suspect, now this is not for sure, but I suspect part of the reason is when Glenn Larson was sued by Lucas for having too many similar things.
Mm-hmm.
So I suspect the lawyers had something to say
Do
about
with it.
that.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So I mean, basically, they were saying, don't do anything like like the old show, and when they came down, it's like I was scrambling, and I didn't know what to do, and I ran to the library. I got a book on industrial design, and I saw these vases, these metal vases that had all this ribbing all the way down. I think there's a picture of it maybe in the book. I'm not sure, but I took that as a sort of a jumping off point. I scanned it into the computer, did some Photoshop, like really quickly. I just said, I'll just throw this in there, see if they like it, and all along, every time I was doing a design, it was like, okay, I'll just do this and see if that's heading in the right direction. And at that point, I had photoshopped this spaceship, and it's in there too, that kind of looked like a side view of a 50s rocket ship, but with ribs on it. And I said, okay, just throw that in. They'll probably hate it, but who cares? And that was the one they chose. And at that point I went, the fans are going to kill me.
Oh my.
I was certain of it. And what had happened, and you can talk to Lee about this, Lee Stringer, who did the CG model. They started building this thing, and his idea, because this was Photoshop, it was completely a side view, not 3/4 or anything. It's just completely side view. And Lee and I think Gary Hutzel, the effects supervisor, looked at it and probably went, what if, you see, the drawing that I did is from the side, but what if when you look at it from the top, it has the familiar crocodile shape. And so they went ahead and started building it in CG. And later on, when the executives came around to take a look at everything, they saw the Galactica, and they said, we didn't approve that. That's not what we wanted. And then the CG guys, turned the model to the side where it looked exactly like my drawing and said, yes, this is what you approved. So
oh, wow.
it was kind of like, all the stars were aligning, and it was just like we were able to it went in under the radar because, like I said, they did not want it to look like the old show. Now,
wow.
The other point was that SyFy at the time was run by. They were not really sci-fi fans at the time.
Jeez.
And really?
So, yeah, really.
No wonder they canceled half the good shows.
If you remember, at that time, it was run by some, and they were like airing things like wrestling.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Remember? And so the person up at top just didn't get sci-fi. In fact, she was well known for not liking science fiction at all. So good job.
It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I know.
Let's put the person in charge of Sci-Fi Channel that hates sci-fi.
To show you just how out of touch she was, when they finally did announce Galactica to the news, if you read the article, you can go back and Google it. But she ended the press conference. She started out saying, "Yes, we're going to do Battlestar Galactica." She ended the press conference with this little quote: "Set phasers to fun." And all of us working on the show went, "Oh God."
Oh boy.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
And the thing is, every time we would do a season, we never knew if we were coming back. Never, because Sci-Fi kept wanting to, make the budget lower and lower and lower, and I don't think people realize just what a low budget show this was. It looks expensive, but compared to Star Trek, we were, I don't know what the budget is, but it was a fraction. It was like a tenth or something like that, something crazy. Everybody who worked on the show was like this. They wanted to do it because they loved the show, they loved the project, and they would do it for next to nothing. So yeah, it's they in the end they did such a great job on the show that it was winning awards and stuff like that. And of course, the people that were accepting the awards are the Sci-Fi, the executives, but they're the ones that were going, no, we're not going to come back. No, it's too expensive. No, we don't want to do it.
Oh my gosh.
It looks terrible. But when it comes time to pick up an award, this is our baby. This is what we did.
We did this, yes. Yeah. Well,
so
we've got that handled.
I knew that this show, you can't do a show like this and completely ignore what's been done before. What's the point then? I understand the fans' reaction to such a departure from the original series. But this was it's a very divisive sort of show. I mean, either you love it or you hate it, and
or you love to hate it.
And I'll tell you a story about the first time, and I just finished the show, and somebody had asked me to go down to Florida for a convention and be a guest, and I was
cool.
like, no, you have to understand. Before this, I was a fan like you guys. I was, on conventions, I was on the other side of the desk, asking people to sign stuff, And
Cool.
So this was my first time, going to a convention, having worked on a science fiction show, which was like, this is the greatest thing ever. And I set up a table. I have the things to sign, and the first person I see walking in front of my table, and she stops. And she looks at me, and she looks down at the sign that says Eric Chu, Battlestar Galactica. She looks back up at me. She looks at the sign. She looks back up at me and says, "Did you work on Battlestar Galactica?" And this is my first time a fan has ever approached me. And they go, "Yeah, I did." And she goes, "I hate that show," and she walked off.
Oh no!
No!
Oh boy!
Oh my gosh!
Oh,
I bet you were
that's
getting ready.
not cool.
It's like getting shanked right there in the hallway.
Yeah, that's just not cool.
But on the other hand, I mean, I went to the San Diego Comic-Con a few times. The first time, before the show came out, they showed a trailer, and you could tell people. I mean, there were maybe about 30 people in the room, and they were kind of very not pessimistic, but they weren't sure what they were seeing. The next year, after it had come out, they had one of the largest rooms in the convention filled to the brim.
Wow.
If you sat like from halfway up to the you couldn't see the front. They had to have monitors so you could see the guests at the table up front. It was insane. And I'm just sad that we couldn't quite get the following that I think the show deserved.
Mm-hmm.
Part of it was SyFy just did not support it as I mean they had it was the opportunity to make a lot of money on merchandising and whatever.
Right.
You had really pushed it. But every year, it's like, are we coming back? Are we coming? Oh, I don't know.
Well, that had to be stressful.
Oh yeah. Every year you never knew, and that's why I think it's the end of this is the third season where they land on a planet.
Yeah, Caprica, New Caprica. Yeah.
Yeah, and so they were going to end it right there.
That was the cheap season. No more space stuff. Let's just keep it on the planet.
But I'm so thrilled to. I mean, like I said, I was a fan too. As a kid growing up, I grew up on a farm and read comic books, and my mom actually gave me the Battlestar Galactica blueprints for Christmas.
Oh wow!
Oh, excellent.
Foreshadowing. That's
Oh yeah.
She had no idea what it was. She just knew I liked science fiction, and I guess this for him for Christmas.
Oh, that's so cool. Awesome. We've shown those off on our show. Yeah. All right.
My mom's great. When Alien came out, I was too young to go see Alien in the theater. She took me in for and stared and had for 2 hours stared at the floor while I watched the movie.
Oh my gosh! Really? What a mom. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's cool. Gotta love mom, man. My
Yep.
mom was the same way. She's the one that same thing. Wanted to go see Star Wars. Wanted to, I loved Battlestar Galactica. The first time, the original show, Eric. I was a big Star Wars fan. So when Battlestar Galactica came out, it was like, or it was about to premiere. There was like a lot of a controversy, and I remember as a kid, we were going to take the train back home, and on the newsstand was what either, I think it was People magazine or one of those popular magazines, and it said the son of Star Wars question mark or something like that, and it had this Galactica thing, and I was like, Mom, I gotta have that magazine. I was like 11 years old. My mom was like, nah, you don't. I was like, Ma, please. And man, I read that article as a kid, and I was like, I have to see that thing. And after that, I was hooked, man. Once I saw it, I was like, this show means something to me, because I was a big Star Trek fan. So that's Mom, our moms, man. My dad's always working. He's not into any of that stuff. But my mom, yeah, big time.
Heck,
Oh,
I
my
love
dad
Carl.
did-
Yeah.
my
Carl
dad
says
hated
he used those blueprints to help build the Viper that he has. Carl, I don't know if you know, Carl is one of our followers, and he actually has built full-size Viper that he takes to Comic-Cons.
Oh yeah.
The
I
original,
saw
and then
one guy
Baz
who-
Baz has built a full-size Viper from the new show.
Have you seen the guy who created a full size? I don't think it's a full size, but a nearly full size Raider from the old.
Yes,
series?
Yes.
yes, I think you
Yes.
have pictures of that.
I think it's Eugene or
Yep, Eugene. Yep.
yeah.
Meanwhile,
let's see.
while Chris gets that up,
There you go.
Eric, we have.
There it is.
Oh, you got it? There it is. Oh, cool. Yeah.
Yeah, he's giving me a parking ticket.
Quite appropriate. Yes, evil Cylons. Oh boy, he's not quite sold on the fact that you're on the same side, Eric. Let's. I just want to recognize Brian Beloff. Sean Shallow is the founder and admin for Battlestar Bulletin Board on Facebook. Thanks for joining us, guys. Jim Schleivert and Mediocre Modeler, thank you for joining us live as well. Appreciate it. We're here with Eric and Eric Chu, who's a concept designer and has done a lot of work. We have his book on Battlestar Galactica and all that. We're going to get into it in a little bit. So thanks for joining us, everybody. Eric, I got a couple of questions for you.
Sure.
John 1, did you get a lot of flack on the Cylon Raider you designed? Being that it was, it's when I first saw it, I was like, whoa, how did that work out?
I personally did not, but you have to understand that when I was given the script, it was very clear from Ron Moore's script. I mean, what they said was it would look like a squashed Cylon. Okay, now that doesn't really help me.
That doesn't help at all. I'll just say, okay, somebody stepped on a Cylon. Got it.
Yeah, and but what I ended up doing is there was a part in the script that wasn't okay. We knew that the Cylons were going to be the ships. I mean, they weren't separate from the ships. They were the ships. We knew that. And then a part in the pilot, which was cut out, was that the Raiders would fly towards the Galactica, jettison its wings, and the central fuselage would fly towards the Galactica like a missile. And that was a weapon in and of itself. It's sort of a kamikaze Cylon.
I think I have a picture of that here. Hang on. Overhead.
Lola says Lola's a big supporter, big fan, also part of the Colonial Warriors, Eric. And she says, I guess I was lucky I wasn't a kid but an adult. I could see all those shows without Mom. Lucky you, Lola. And thanks for joining us.
Yeah, so you see, I mean, at the time I was still going with the sort of oval Raider shape, and then some other artists came up with the scimitar shape, and I took that and did my own version of it, and that's where that came from. But yeah, I mean, if it has a face on it and it's got a sort of a tubular central fuselage, of course it's going to look like the alien head, right?
Exactly. I thought that too when I first saw it. I was like, that looks like the alien head.
Yeah.
Very cool. Very cool. It's actually Sean Shallow's birthday, the admin over from
right.
Battlestar Bulletin Board. So Sean, hey,
Hey,
happy
happy
birthday. Thanks for joining us. If if you have any questions, Sean, shoot something out to Eric, and I'm sure he's gonna answer if we have time. Bobby, thanks for watching with us. Another
no, I
question
have no
that came.
time. I gotta leave. Sorry. Bye, guys.
No.
Eric,
Yeah.
what was your favorite design? Another question that popped up.
That's a tough one. I would have to say the Cylon because it is so iconic. That said, it was another case of that was one that we had to do a lot of iterations to get the right look. We knew that my marching orders were basically we want a robot with an impossibly thin waist so we can see that it's not a person on the inside. So that's what I ended up doing was trying to, because part of the story is the Cylons are trying to become human, and so I tried to replicate human anatomy, the way the muscles are shaped, and so the only thing I didn't do, if you can't see from this photo, but the feet. I did some more traditional boots, but I think when they took it away from me, they thought that they needed something a little bit more unique, and they ended up coming up with something that looked more like chicken feet to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. There
Eric,
you go. You can see the chicken feet.
Yeah, there it is.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So Eric, Mediocre Modeler is another admin and founder over on his own site, both on YouTube and Facebook and other social media. He's a big supporter, big fan of ours, a big modeler from the title, of course, Mediocre Modeler. He says that he actually also mentioned what you brought up in terms of the waist size being small. And he says, were there any other ships that you wanted to design that they wouldn't approve?
If I had my way, I would have designed all of them. But I had
Yes.
I had to take on some people because because it was low budget. The schedule was so fast. There was no way I could do it all. So I had to take on a few people. A friend of mine, Richard Livingston, ended up doing Colonial One.
Wow!
He did the Heavy Raider.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Yeah.
And he did a few of the fleets. I would have had, because I only worked on the pilots and I didn't get a chance to work on the Pegasus. I would have loved to have had my hand on the Pegasus because right now the Pegasus that they had kind of looks like somebody put an air hose in it and blew it up.
Right. Yeah.
It looks kind of heavy. Like I don't know, like it had some sort of
It just made it larger. It wasn't. Yeah, it was kind of. Yeah.
Yeah, it's almost like a balloon now.
Yeah. So Eric, a little bit on the McQuarrie, right? So Ralph McQuarrie is so well known in sci-fi, right? I mean, he's done all the great franchises, including the original Battlestar Galactica. I had read that he was an inspiration to you. How did that play out?
Well, not just Ralph McQuarrie, but Ron Cobb, Sid Mead. I mean, those were the holy trinity for me growing up. And when the opportunity came up for me to work on this show, I was not that good at computers just yet. I'm a very latecomer to computers, and I thought, well, you know what, this is probably my only chance to do concept art like Joe Johnson, and so I had never done before the show, I'd never really done a whole lot of concept art, so that's why the drawings that you see in the book are all markers, like Joe Johnson did. Um, it was my only chance to actually try that style. But since then, yeah, now I've been using a lot of Photoshop, and it's a lot easier for me to implement changes. But yeah, especially Ron Cobb, I think Ron Cobb has a way of making something look absolutely believable, absolutely realistic. You know, Sid Mead a little bit more fantastical. Ralph McQuarrie, I would put him on the fantastical category too.
Eric, we have a really interesting comment that Sean Shallow just put up. And
Yeah.
he's asking, where do you see your Battlestar Galactica relative to its place in the hierarchy of importance and impact among sci-fi productions throughout the history of TV? The miniseries, which you were a part of, set up the tone and aesthetic for the entire series. Star Trek and Star Wars have huge fan bases and critical respect. Where does Ron Moore's Battlestar fall in your mind, and why?
Leave it to Sean to make the most difficult question.
I do think Battlestar Galactica, because it was such a low budget show. I mean, it was low budget in that when you have a big budget show like Star Trek, yes, you have lots of money. Yes, you have lots of time, but you also have to please a lot of executives along the way. The advantage in our shows for having such a low budget was we didn't have that many people to please. Yes, we did have some executives to please, but it's not. I'm certain it's not as crazy as it is for Star Trek. So I think the advantage for us having such a low budget was that we were able to take a lot more chances. We were allowed to tell stories that would probably not be approved if we had the budget of say Star Trek. I remember. I think it was the first. Was it 33?
Yes.
The first episode. The one where one of their ships goes missing, and
the
they
Olympic
don't know
carrier.
if the Cylons have captured it or not. And when it appears again, they can't communicate with it. So they're trying to decide whether it's been compromised and whether they should let it get back in the fleet or blow it up. And at the end, what's his name?
Apollo.
Bamber.
Yep. Jamie Bamber.
Yeah. So he flies his Viper in close by to look in the window, see if he can see anybody alive in there. And in the original script, there were people in there, but if you watch the show, he can't see anybody.
Right.
And that was thought of to be too much.
Really?
But we were allowed to take those chances. I mean,
compared to everything else that was in the show, that was too much.
Wow.
Well, remember, this is the first show after the pilot, right? So they're still feeling their way around.
Oh, after 6 breaks the baby's neck. Yeah.
Oh boy.
So I of all the shows that Star Trek, Star Wars, and Battlestar Galactica, those three, I'm happy to have worked on Battlestar Galactica because we really pushed the boundaries of storytelling and what sci-fi can be, and that only comes from artistic freedom. if we had a big budget, then we had lots of people to
Right.
please. Then you end up with this sort of run of the mill sci-fi, and I think that was probably what Sci-Fi Channel was expecting, just another sci-fi show.
Something to make one season and get rid of it.
Yeah.
Hey, I've got a question.
Mm-hmm.
Did you take any trophies from the show?
Not at the time. See, I worked in a studio that was away from the
Right, but I mean, you're out of all your drawings and everything else. Was there something you kept that you had to have?
Oh boy, here we go. Oh,
yeah, I know, and I'm not talking. Yeah,
Damn.
Look at that.
Oh,
Hang on, let me get your full screen.
there it is. Oh, Chris is gonna pass out. Chris, are you still there? Chris, don't pass out, man.
This is the one thing that I will not let go. Apart from that, throughout the years, people have come up to me and have said, "Oh, we got this from the production. Do you want it?" So I have a small piece of the Viper Mark 7. You couldn't tell what it is. I mean, it's just a piece of foam, but I know it's part of the Mark 7.
Right.
And then there's another episode further on where I think Starbuck goes down to a planet and she sees that the Cylons are making babies.
Yes.
Yeah. I've got a piece of, it's not machinery, but a piece from that show. It's got it's kind of like machinery, but inside it's got flesh in it, and it came with a skull and some fake blood. And
oh my gosh!
Oh wow!
So in the show somewhere. I haven't checked back to see where it is.
So you truly are a fan of sci-fi.
He was like the relative of one of the prop guys.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't want it. It's huge. It's almost the size of a Volkswagen.
Oh my gosh!
It's just sitting around now in my garage, which my wife doesn't like.
But wives don't understand. I get it. I'm the same way.
Yeah, that's for sure.
I married the total opposite because she hates science fiction.
Mine does. No, I gotta admit, mine likes sci-fi, but not on our level.
No.
Not on our level.
What was your favorite? What was your favorite thing to work on? Was it which one of the So I was really impressed that in the book it talks about the Cylon base star, and you drew that and they accepted it immediately. They didn't even do any edits on it.
No, that's partly because we were working so fast. There was just no time to do anything different, and it was also a function of, remember they said they wanted something that didn't look like the original show. So I thought, well, what's the opposite of two discs? Okay, well, we've got
2 triangles.
And so I did that drawing and I submitted it, and the head of Sci-Fi looked at it and went, "Oh, a starfish," and then approved it.
Really? Hey, it looks cool, man.
Oh, it does. It's quite impressive.
Looks so cool. So yeah, but yeah, it's a win. David Hunt is with us live. Thank you, Dave, for joining us. And let's see. John wants to let you know that and make it known publicly that he enjoys your designs very much. Love the series, so much so that my then girlfriend, now wife, had to work just so he could watch the show on Friday nights. All right, John, way to go. Thank you for that.
She's a keeper.
The right person.
Yep, that's for
She's
sure.
She's a keeper.
Oh, yeah. So let's see. John also said something about questioning the storylines were great, good cast, and what else? What other projects that you've worked on, Eric? Do you still, think about? Like I know you've done like one thing that I picked up on your IMDb is the New Adventures of Johnny Quest. I was a big Johnny Quest fan. But what other stuff that you've done kind of still, stays in your heart?
Huh. I would think that the only other project that I've worked on so many projects, and a lot of them have kind of come and gone, and nobody will remember them. But the one that I remember as being my first foray into doing stuff for live action was Captain Power.
Oh
Okay.
wow.
Yeah, it was this was up in Toronto. They had this huge set, and you look at it and you kind of go, it's kind of cheesy, but it turned out to have quite a lot of fans. And who was it that was working on it at the time? J. Michael Straczynski.
Wow.
He was working on it at the time.
Yeah.
This was before he became really super famous, but and I didn't know about it at the time, but it was one of those shows that you probably would watch on Saturday morning. CG was in its infancy. Everything looks kind of really cheesy, and it was for people who didn't see the show. The gimmick was that the robots walk around in the show with a glowing emblem on their chest. And what you would do as a kid, you would go to the store, you would buy a gun, a plastic laser gun, and you would shoot at the screen while you watched the show. And if you hit the flashing emblem, you got points. That was, that was the gimmick at the time, and I think it lasted for a season or two. But yeah, it was. It was
There
about
was
the
a
same
lot of
quality
toys.
as, say, those, the shows that we used to watch on Saturday mornings, other than cartoons, Land of the Lost, or
Oh yes.
Oh yeah.
Land of the lost.
The Slee Stack. That was a great show.
So the other thing that I'm kind of working on that is I'm working with Jerry Anderson's son, and he's trying to get a new Super Mario Nation show off the ground. The trailer is on YouTube if you care to look for it. It's called Firestorm.
Firestorm? I'll look it up while you're talking.
Interesting.
And so basically, we're looking, we're trying to get it funded at the moment.
Is that? Are you doing a
Kickstarter?
We started doing the Kickstarter for the trailer, and then now that the trailer's done, now he's shopping it around. No, not that one.
Okay.
But it's puppets again. It's not CG. There's very little, if any, CG in the show.
Interesting.
It isn't marionettes though. It's more like animatronics, but they're small. Type in Jerry Anderson's Firestorm.
Okay.
Lisa Parziel, thanks for joining us live. And we're talking with Eric True, concept designer for Battlestar Galactica and a whole bunch of other stuff. And we're getting all kinds of
So I've got my essay
insights.
written, and I've been working on it for about a week.
Hey,
So
Chris.
now I'm going to show you how I
that's
use
an
grammar.
ad. Can you? There we go. Thanks.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
There we go.
Those are animatronics. Didn't you see that?
Yeah.
Here we go. Oh boy.
We'll probably get banned for this. Wait.
Yeah, we will. But what the hell?
I'm gonna get the audio back on.
Okay, you two, that'll do. Time to get back inside. All systems green, Martian Control.
Glad to hear it, MRS. How's the weather looking?
There's a big
Oh, that's
sandstorm
cool.
going on down there.
Call it what it is, Chief. Red dust and a slight breeze.
You're on fire today, Josh.
Why, thank you, Zoe.
Calm down, you two. Time for check-in. Ready, Martian Control? As long as your crew are, Captain.
Light support, telemetry, and all key systems nominal. Orbit stable?
A-okay. No corrections required.
You know who to thank for that, right?
What's that?
We've lost power.
Fire retros manually. No response.
Oh, Look at that. They called you. I played it on I played it on there, and they called you.
Take that off. Oh, that's pretty cool.
It looks really neat.
Oh yeah.
And here's the.
Come on, this way.
This reminds me of Thunderbirds.
Oh, yeah. Look at that.
Unfortunately, Jerry Anderson had to sell all of his the famous shows, and
Someone really wants to talk to you.
and so this is something that was in his filing cabinet that was not bought up by ITV, and so his son, now the name escapes me. Not Jerry. What's Jamie? Jamie Anderson. You know, thought that he would take. I think he's the only one of his Jerry Anderson's kids that has any interest of continuing with his father's legacy, and he's you know, trying to see what's these are projects that, you know, Jerry Anderson had come up with, maybe for pitches or whatever, and never gotten anywhere. And so they just laid in his filing cabinet. In the case of Firestorm, this was a story that he pitched to a Japanese animation company, and an animated version was made of it. I think only a few episodes were made, and then it sat around for years. And then Jamie asked, "Well, can we have the rights back?" And I said, "Sure, you can have the rights back." So, so that's what we're doing with this.
So is there a crowdfunding on this yet, or I mean?
Well, there was enough to get the trailer done.
Wow, the trailer's 9 minutes long, almost 10 minutes long. That's pretty good.
Or Netflix or somebody to really do a big show.
Kind of sounds like cool. Richard Hatch's Second Coming.
Yeah. John McCartney, thanks for joining us. How about Carl says, bring back a version of Space 1999.
Yeah, I'd love to. There is a problem with that ITV owns it, not Jamie or Jerry Anderson. They don't own it anymore. And ITV is, there has been talk of redoing it, but from what I understand, I had a talk with Matthew Gretzner. If you don't know who he is, Matthew Gretzner with his partner, well, they have a company called Hunter Gretzner, Ian Hunter, and they do miniatures for big Hollywood movies. They do all of Chris Nolan's films. They did the Betty from Alien 3. Is it Alien 3 or 4? Sorry, Alien 4. They did Interstellar.
Oh, okay.
Did, the Dark Knight, the big trucks.
Mm-hmm.
So they're pretty much the only company around that still does physical miniatures. Anyway, at one point, Matthew Gretzner wanted to do UFO as a feature, and wanted to direct. But ITV didn't necessarily. They had talks, but ITV is they don't want to take any risk. So their deal was, okay, you can make the movie, you pay for everything, and we get profits. That's it.
Oh boy, that's tough.
Yeah, that's not a great deal.
Nah,
not a good business model.
Nah.
Yeah, so I imagine the same sort of thing is happening with Space 1999. They know they have this is one of their crown jewels. They know they have something, but the people running it don't exactly know what to do with it. They know they have something, but they don't know what to do with it. And they don't want to spend money. I think the last time they took a gamble was with the Thunderbirds reboot.
Yes.
Yeah.
With Weta doing the effects, and it wasn't the success that they were hoping for.
Right.
Right.
They were hoping for something really, really, because in the UK it is a big property. Everybody remembers it. People know about it. But so I think Weta did a pretty good job. I don't particularly agree with them using so much CG in it, but it was an interesting mix with CG and miniatures. I just wish they'd just stuck with miniatures, but yeah. So if I would say there was a time where and I can't remember the guy's name, but he was saying, yeah, he's working on the new Space 1999. No, that's from what I understand, and I've talked to Jamie Anderson about it. He says no, it's nothing's happening with it.
What a shame.
So that's too bad. I mean, it wasn't one of those shows that I grew up with too.
Yeah, good stuff, man. It's there. It's not that we're craving, reimagining, or it's more like, can we continue the story? It's like, whatever happened to them? Like, we left them stranded in time. Like, let's work out. It doesn't have to be reinvented. It'd be kind of cool to see what happened to them. Like, where'd they go?
A continuation is what you're looking for. Yes,
exactly.
Yeah,
right.
I know. As a fan, this is what people want. They want to know what happened. From a business point of view, though, I think they want a wider audience, a wider, people who to watch the show and buy the merchandise and everything. So they have to take into account, not just the older generation, but the current generation. And so if you did a strict continuation, just like Battlestar Galactica, you'd please some fans, but I think a lot of people would think, oh, this is kind of cheesy or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I remember Battlestar Galactica when we were doing this project. Battlestar Galactica really didn't have a name. I mean, no, sorry, it did have a name, but it was something from a bygone era.
Right.
Nobody was clamoring for continuation, not really, and it was one of the reasons why I got called onto it, because at the time in Vancouver there were other productions going on. I think Blade 3 was being made at the time, and a few other shows I can't remember. But I was having a hard time finding conceptual artists, and I was pretty much only a few of the ones that were available to work on the show. So it was one of those, Blade 3, oh yeah, Wesley Snipes, that's really cool. But Battlestar Galactica, that's such an old show. People kind of recognize the name. They don't, it's that far away now that only. I'll tell you. After I worked on the show, several years later, I got asked by a friend who's a teacher to go to his film class and talk about my experiences with Battlestar Galactica. My first question to all the students was like, how many of you seen Battlestar Galactica? Nobody.
Oh no! Oh no!
The new Battlestar Galactica was too old for them, and this was only a few years later.
Wow.
So
it's fans.
So you have to understand that people, they're always on to the next new thing.
Right.
And so yes, I understand people want to go back to the old show, but the money's not there.
Right.
So yeah, I don't think that's I know that a lot of people were upset. I know a lot of people hate me for the show, but it had to be updated. I think that was the correct thing to do. And as it turned out, I think they took what was an okay show, but made it so much more, and they added so much more to it.
Right. It was good sci-fi. I mean,
yes.
there's a big divide in the fans we see in regards to Battlestar Galactica as well. It's hey, we don't like the reimagine. I say to them, hey, it's Battlestar Galactica. It's the name either way, and if you support Battlestar Galactica being either the new or the old, it helps create more interest in Hollywood. Like you were just saying a second ago, it's the interest. How many people are going to be interested in this? So the new one gave more interest to Battlestar Galactica, whether it be the interest that they felt was the right direction or not. But it gave the interest to the fans. And when we, like we say, we fans feel the fleet. These people, it's the fans who Hollywood listens to. If you get loud enough, for instance, like The Expanse, when they tried to cancel that and they brought it back, it's the fans who they'll listen to because that's where the money is. Unfortunately, that's kind of the way things work. But if you were given your druthers, and not counting the shows that you've worked on, like Droids and everything else that you've done, which is, you're amazing, by the way. I wish I had just a small amount of time. I can do some great stick figures. If I had some just small, if you're given your druthers, what would you like to work on, whether sci-fi or not sci-fi? If you were given a chance to work on the concept art for a TV or a movie or show, either in the past or upcoming, what would it be? I need the
That's a question. Yeah. Space 1999 would be interesting.
Oh, there you go.
Ooh, excellent.
Yeah. The Alien franchise.
Ooh.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. Terminator.
Oh, Terminator.
There you go.
Yes.
But you know what? I would also like to see something original being made. I mean, we're kind of rehashing things over and over again.
Yep.
And and unfortunately, the business as it is now, people that put money into films, they want that built-in audience first, so
right.
that, they feel safer when they put money in.
That's true. That's a good point.
Yeah. I in some ways, Netflix is a good thing in that they're giving chances to a lot of people to
Black
to come
Mirror.
up with,
Those kind of things.
Interesting shows. At least shows that I don't think we were seeing theatrically in a long time. Everything, the past few years, theatrically has been, more of the same.
Yeah.
Especially now, I'm actually getting tired of the Marvel films because they're, just more of the same.
Well, you could just definitely hold off and, go watch Wonder Twins.
Yeah, the Wonder Twins. Eric, Mediocre Modeler says, if it weren't for you and some of your coworkers who were sci-fi fans, I think the show would not have been as successful as it was.
That is a good point.
I think that Chris and I have talked a lot about how we have a belief that a science fiction fan that works in the industry can't help bringing their likes, their favorite, like you were saying in the beginning, when you have producers and executives at the head of a company that's supposed to be about a certain thing that don't know the difference between apples and oranges, it suffers. And when you have someone that's a fan that comes into something, it gives it a different type of life. It gives it a different spin. And so it definitely comes through. And it's important sometimes that, it's known that a fan that's in the industry is not the same as somebody that's not. And you're definitely appreciated, and it shows in your work, and we really enjoy it.
I think it's I always say that it's, you got actors who act, and that's their job. They go in there and they act the part, and a lot of them aren't fans of sci-fi. Some of them are, but a lot of them are not fans of sci-fi, and they really don't create the world. It's the artists, it's the writers, it's those individuals that sit in the background that create this world. Yeah, the designers that create this world. It's just the actors act in that world, but it's the people who create the world that make it much more interesting. And we want to, we definitely thank you for what you've created a world, and it's even and you've hinted towards the old world as well as part of the new world. And I know some of it was probably rushed and things like that, but I think if it wasn't for you, it wouldn't have been as interesting or as entertaining.
Well, it was a dream project for me. I mean, I grew up, like I said, on a farm, and I had no idea that this was even in the realm of possibility in my future. When I left home at that time, I was. You remember that scene in Superman where Clark is standing in a wheat field and looking off into the
Yeah.
distance, and
Yeah.
yeah, that was me going, what am I gonna do? And I had no idea that I would be, it was in the, furthest, like it was my wish, of course. But you have to understand where I was growing up. I was growing up in the middle of nowhere, and Canada, it didn't have any sort of film business at the time. So me just having, even had that, being able to, okay, yes, I've worked on droids, which is my, one claim to Star Wars. Now Star Trek, or no, Galactica. Star Trek is next, but I'm
Yes.
happy to wear a button.
Got to get the trifecta.
By the way, you should talk to John Eves. John Eves is a pal of mine. He's the concept artist for all the Star Trek shows. And
I would love to have him on, Eric. Oh yeah, Eric, tell us about what you're working on now and where what's in the future if you can. Give us some insights on maybe are you going?
How can we support you?
Yeah.
There is. I hesitate to talk about this because basically I've been away for about a year. And what had happened was last February, basically almost exactly a year ago today, I was diagnosed with liver cancer.
Oh my gosh.
Oh boy.
And they found 12 tumors in my liver, about a centimeter or so big. And I ended up in Canada. They said, I went to the Cancer Institute, and they said, "Oh, we've got this wonderful new treatment you can take," and it was called immunotherapy, and that was. And I said, "How long does that give me?" They said, "It'll give you 2 years."
What?
Which was very depressing at the time. To make a long story short, I actually ended up going to Hong Kong, where they had an experimental treatment that very few people had tried. It's not accepted by the government yet, but it looked promising. And I stayed there for about half a year. I came back with no tumors whatsoever. So I've been out of the industry for about a year now. And,
well, that's good news, though, Eric. That's good news.
It is terrific news, and I can hardly wait until. I didn't realize before this how common. You hear about cancer and you go, oh yeah, somebody, my friend's uncle has cancer or whatever.
Right.
I didn't realize it was at my doorstep.
Wow.
It was like something that I had no concept of. So when they said you've got cancer, it's like, what?
Oh my gosh! Yeah.
And it just so happened that going overseas was the best option, because it was there that I found this experimental treatment that I'm hoping will be approved here one day soon, because it'll save a lot of people. And it was painless, absolutely painless.
Wow.
But that said, I mean, I don't want to bring the show down, but
oh no, that's fantastic.
No, this is great.
That's not bringing it down. That's bringing it back up. I mean, that's a success story.
Yeah, it's a success. Are you kidding? It's a win.
I'm you can't kill me.
That's it. Like I always tell my friends, colonials will always die, but Cylons are just rebuilt.
So anyways, I've been out of the industry for a long time, and right now I'm working on video games. So I'm doing this for a video game.
Oh, can you talk about what video game you're working on?
Not yet. It's something new. Something new.
Is it can we go as far as saying, is it sci-fi or is it fantasy or is it?
I can say it's a fighting game.
Okay.
So anybody can fight anybody.
Ah,
cool.
Yeah.
That sounds fun.
But yeah, as far as that's concerned, yeah, most of my film work has been earlier on when in animation. Yeah, droids, Ewoks, Johnny Quest, Beetlejuice.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Anyways, a bunch of other stuff. Shows that I probably wouldn't watch again, unfortunately.
I wouldn't say that. I think you got some really good stuff out there. And there's fans for all these things. Many of us actually I remember watching, Beetlejuice, especially with my kid, Babar, and even a little bit of Captain Power, New Adventures of Johnny Quest. Watched that with my son. So and Rugrats. Are you kidding? Come on.
Oh my gosh, I remember watching Rugrats so many times with my kids.
Oh, it's good stuff, and it's still good, Eric. It's all that stuff is still cool.
You've made you made your mark in the world, and you've made people happy. That's something you always leave behind, If something does happen later on down the line, you can say, "I did something."
Yeah.
Yes,
it's going to live forever.
That's
absolutely
what all artists really want. They want to have made a difference in the world somehow.
Yes.
The worst thing for them is to be forgotten and nobody knows who you are. And it's not an ego thing.
No.
It's that you want to have made a difference somehow.
Right. You've worked so hard. You want something to come out of it.
Yeah. Yeah. You want to leave something,
Yep.
I think our greatest fear is being forgotten and not having made any sort of contribution to the world.
Exactly.
That's not to say that what I do is it's like the cure for cancer or something amazing like that.
Yeah.
But it's made people happy, and that's certainly enough for me. If people are have liked what I've done, that's great.
That's awesome.
John McCartney says your work has brought a lot of joy to many people. We owe you a huge thank you.
We do.
You make it sound like something I've done as a for mankind. The truth of it is, I was
better.
A fan.
You've done it for fankind.
This was dropped in my lap. I was just lucky.
And that's okay, Eric. It's okay to be humble about things too. But on our end, as fans, we happen to be fans of your work and the franchises you've been involved in. So it's that kind of like that weird thing where you're on the other side of the table right now, and we get to see and talk to you and appreciate your work, and that's what John McCartney wrote, and he speaks for a lot of people. So you have touched a lot of people in your work. John Repper says, I still know the lyrics to the Droids cartoon opening. Very memorable.
Oh, man.
Oh, no.
So, all said and done, it's very, very cool. Eric, I hope that we can have you back on the show. We really enjoyed, your insights. As a matter of fact, some of the fans have actually said that they really appreciate you sharing your personal your personal background and your battles, and that it's very inspirational, and we're glad that you're doing well, and continued health, of course. But if we could, whatever you have going on,
Yep.
When you can come back maybe and talk more about the game and anything else that you're working on, we surely would love to have you, and maybe we can team you up with some of the others that you've worked with. But there's an open door for you, and we really, really appreciate you sharing your personal stories and your professional stories.
And if there's any way we can help you out.
If Firestorm gets made, I wouldn't mind coming back and showing you what we've done.
That'd be great.
Oh, heck yeah!
Because I was just looking at the couple minutes of the trailer. It looks fun.
Oh, it does, absolutely. Absolutely. Yep. All our fans are giving thumbs up and totally interesting and knowledgeable. Thank you for coming on. Thank you, Lola. Yeah. So, Eric, open door anytime. Really appreciate your time. Really enjoyed your stories, and it's a treat. We love having people like yourself with your talents and the franchise that you've been on, and sharing your stories with us. Thank you so much, Chris.
Thank you for your talents.
yeah.
I mean, when you have a talent that you can share with other people and make other people excited about another world or another storyline or something like that, that's quite amazing. So we really appreciate what the work you've done, and hopefully the work that you will do. And we're always here to help you out in any way we can.
Okay, thank you. I hope I get called in for the next iteration of Battlestar Galactica.
Oh, wouldn't that be great?
Cross your fingers.
Ooh, that'd be awesome.
I keep hinting towards it, but
yeah,
where is it? Nobody knows.
And I'm not. Nobody's answering my phone calls, but.
By the way, Eric, Carl Schmidt,
yeah. Go ahead.
he says you have a reserve ticket for Team BSG Viper Cockpit at any of the conventions they're at. So you're a VIP with them.
Okay.
And I'm sure if you go to Australia and you visit Baz, you can go sit in his Viper, which is based on the new series.
Yeah.
Holy crap! It's all the way in Australia. Huh?
Yeah, he's in his garage. It's built. You should. Yeah, check out the Builds by Baz.
It's
EAZ.
cool. Yeah,
on Facebook. He's put together a full-size Viper.
Us. Oh yeah. So Baz, if you're out there,
the actual Viper on the show is made out of this rigid foam. It's really light. I could push it around by myself.
Oh wow!
Oh wow!
Yeah.
I don't think Baz's is that light.
No.
But
not at all.
Yeah.
Eric, any last words?
No, but you know what? I'm happy to be here. Anytime you want me to jump on board, I'll be glad to. And hope that I can come back with something new to show you guys.
That'd be great.
That would be great. Eric, this is to you and to your recovery.
Sir.
So thank you for coming on.
When you guys were doing the toast, I just ran out of here because I remember that as part of as the crew and the cast, they had made a Battlestar Galactica beer, and I still have that bottle somewhere, but I couldn't find it.
Oh!
Here to have a toast.
Send us a picture. We'd love to see that.
Oh, that would be
if I can
cool.
find it. Yeah.
All right. Well, here's to you, Eric. All the best, continued health, and I hope to see you again soon.
Thank you, sir, for everything.
Thanks. Bye.
All right. And let's see. Chris Laskowski. Chris and Scott Stewart's Mark I Viper. Yes, of course. That's right, Chris. Thanks. Thanks for coming on board from down under. Hope he comes back. It'll give us time to think up some better questions.
I thought we did
Jeff,
pretty good.
I think we did pretty damn good, man. Yeah. No, come on, Jeff. I think we did okay. And it was great to have him on board. I really enjoyed that. Chris, we the book. I was kind of hoping we didn't get to squeeze in more of the book. I want to see more of because I didn't get mine yet, and since you had it, I couldn't tell you where to turn to. But the book looks great. Mine's on order. I ordered one from Amazon.
Oh yeah, it is a great book. It's and it's interesting, and the information that's inside of it is just amazing. I really liked it.
Speaking of book, good job. So say we all. That's right, Brightest Day. Thank you. And Lola, I hope Lola's thanks for coming. It was great. Yeah, absolutely. Agreed, Lola. Fans are waiting in a lonely quest for another Battlestar series somewhere amongst the stars. John Repper, man, you got some cool stuff to say. I love those little sound bites of yours. Chris, we still have some stuff to mention, some housekeeping.
Yes.
We're working on conventions, guys. We're trying to narrow down, where we're going to go. I hope you guys are watching the postings that we put up on IFB, right, Chris? We picked out a few that we have committed to already, and now we're waiting for Awesome Con. We expect, of course, Awesome Con's really good. We
That's
had a really
in
good
June.
time. Yeah. So as soon as we put in for a panel, I'm pretty sure we're going to get it. And, in our press passes. But now we're looking to add on a couple. So if you guys have any suggestions, send them up. You know how to get in touch with us, right, guys? info@interfleetbroadcasting.com, right? So anyone wants to send us an email, any suggestions, any ideas, Rob Baum, he's always sending me good ideas and good stuff. So you guys are open to as well. I mean, this is part of the fans, right? You guys fans fuel the fleet. You guys are out there, and we have a really good, tight cadre of guys that are all part of the show. And then there's all of the extras, man. Chris, we have thousands of people watch us, which is just mind-boggling.
I think I'm still in denial on that, by the way.
Yeah, it's thousands, and we love all of you. And if you want to get in touch with us, please, reach out, info@interfleetbroadcasting.com. Drop us emails. So like I said, we're talking about figuring out which conventions to do, preferably some of the bigger ones, and hopefully run into you guys. We want to meet up with you guys. So Lola says no Florida. Yeah, we're working on Florida.
Yeah, we missed Pensacon. We were going to try to make it this weekend, but the planets did not align, and the Baystar was out of the area,
out of range. It was out of range.
Yeah,
but we're going to try.
And Chris's wallet has bought too many beers.
Yes, but there's still at least another two big ones.
We are looking to make one in Florida for sure. So there's a couple we're kind of looking at.
Let me see what's the list. I have a partial list, and there is discussion between Chris and I. So we're going to try to work something out, guys. We want to meet up with you. We're looking forward to meeting up with some of these Cylons Life Matter. Ban microwaves. Yes. It's not a Thursday without IFB. You guys are knocking out of the park. Thanks, John. Really appreciate that. So let's hit the Armageddon. Yeah, let's hit the book. Armageddon. Come to Florida, Sunshine Tree, great sci-fi cons naturally. Yes, John, of course. So yeah, we're working on it. We have intentions of hitting maybe Chicago, Florida, maybe one more.
Definitely do Florida. I mean, probably
Florida would be kind of cool. And we're also thinking about Chicago, right?
Yeah, I used to work north of Jacksonville, so I've been down to Florida quite a bit. I like it down there.
Yeah. So we may end up doing well. That's what we're working on, guys. So and we'd love to see you, and especially if we get a panel, you guys come on out, and it'll be fun. We can take some pictures and do that kind of thing. And
of course,
yes, of course, a little bit of yes, that's right. So Triple T, is Lucifer still bleeding acid blood or blow up on you yet?
Yeah, so we'll have a Lucifer Chronicles next week for sure. This week, Lucifer got a new coat of paint. So if you want to check out what Lucifer looks like right now, he is on Instagram. So I've put the picture of Lucifer in new paint on Instagram.
All right.
So under IFB. So like us over there too, by the way. So like us on Facebook, like us on YouTube, like us on Instagram. Hey, like us everywhere. We're everywhere. So
yes. Rob Baum's watching. Excellent, Rob. I just mentioned you. And we also have Gary Graham is coming onto the show. So watch for that. We'll be posting that up. Gary did reach out to us. Thank you guys for helping us with that. Gary Graham will be on the show. Alien Nation and
I just finished.
Enterprise
No, I'm on the last episode of Alien Nation. I'll probably squeeze it in before I go to bed tonight because I just got to see the last episode.
It's good stuff. So yeah, he's coming on board, and we're working on a couple of others. As a matter of fact, we have a prop master that's worked on all the heavy
Jaws.
hitting movies, franchises. Yeah, Jaws. And we're working on getting a date, so locking that down. And then, of course, we're going to have some of the others back. We're going to have, Chris Fian, who is a classic Battlestar Galactica
Original.
club original organizer, and so he's going to come back, right? He's heavy with the 501, but he's going to come back. And so, yeah, we got stuff going on, guys. Please, we are looking to get that there's this.
We have to have 100 people on Facebook for sure.
No, 100
on
YouTube, my friend. Yes. So, we've neglected YouTube, right? I mean, like that's a fact. And now we're pushing YouTube, guys. So we're pushing a lot of content on, and we appreciate you coming on board. So we need the subscribes. We need another, at this point, it's not that many to get to that
20 or
mark.
30, I think we need.
Yeah, no, it's less than that. So I think it's like we're within like 10 or something. So please, guys, don't forget, we need a couple more subscribers to hit that 100 mark. And then from there, we can, start doing some other things. So we appreciate your support. Please help us out. We're gonna wrap this show with the Epic Odyssey Reborn, Battlestar Galactica Armageddon. It's Richard Hatch.
And for those people who are hanging around for the comic book, we'll have to wait till next week because we went a little over with Eric. So, but the comic book will be next week.
Yeah, we'll do the comic book next week. But we're going to talk about the chapter 2 of
I like
Armageddon.
chapter 2 as well. So far, this book has been amazing.
Oh, well, you've calmed down.
We've killed Starbuck.
Yes, there we
in
go.
chapter 1. So
yes, and then. Chapter 2 is yet more tragedy. So they're
amazing.
building on tragedy.
Perfect.
But stop. What's the matter with you? It's 18 years have passed since the last episode of the classic Battlestar Galactica. And there's been, everybody's, evolved and grown. And, on this mission, scouting mission, recon mission that Apollo and Starbuck go on. Starbuck is there's a dogfight, and they they're attacked, and Starbuck crashes into one of the raiders, and it looks like the planet's atmosphere is they're falling into the planet's atmosphere. So as far as Apollo could tell, Starbuck's gone. So chapter 2, they get back, and it's like 3 weeks later, and Commander Adama is not doing well. He is in poor health, and he's suffered basically like a heart attack again or something to that effect, and it doesn't look like he's going to make it. And in fact, by the end of chapter 2, Commander Adama passes. And we also
can I say yay?
No, and we also know that Colonel Ty has previously retired, and now he is the president of the Quorum. And so he is now the president, and now they have to then figure out who's going to then take command of the Battlestar Galactica. So they appoint. Acting commander is Apollo.
Yeah, so I found that interesting.
Yeah.
And the funny thing was is Athena.
Oh my god.
Athena.
Oh my god.
Anyways.
Here we go. Yes. You
Athena
looked over
like,
because you have a giant like custom poster.
Oh yeah.
That's why you looked over.
Yeah. Every day. every day I walk by Athena. Anyways.
Yeah.
She's not returning. It's Valentine's Day, and I got another restraining order.
No, you did not. Oh man!
But I sent a Valentine's Day card out, and she never answered. So, anyways, so Athena's upset at the Battlestar people because so they make this decision and they don't. And she's like, "Oh, I'm happy for my brother," but she's jealous. So here's the patriot, and it's I guess a monarchy, right? I mean, it's kind of they say they have to elect another Caprican, to take over the Battlestar, which is an interesting thing too, because that's the only Battlestar left. Why does it have to be a Capricorn? But I can understand it's kind of a monarchy. It's like the Queen of England. You're not going to elect somebody from France to be the Queen of England.
It's like it's like a fiefdom, and it's almost like that medieval. But they explain it. They said that
she's upset.
Adama and his family are pure Kobolian.
Kobolians. That was a different thing. They said they wanted to elect a Capricorn, not necessarily a Kobolian.
Yes.
So now we get to see
pure blood.
Pure blood. Yeah. So now we get to see a little bit more of the, the inner politics. I think that's kind of different, brought out into the book. I think it's a really interesting. It's not really deep in the in this chapter, but you have to wonder.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Is the because he's one of the things that I'm going to cross streams here. I think it's in the comic I just read, where he tells Boxy to become a Kobolian. Anyways, so you have to look at this and wonder. So you have the Knights of Columbus, I guess would be a good way of putting it, on board the Galactica that has kind of taken over. And don't get me wrong, if you're a Knights of the Columbus guy, I'm not like against that or anything. It's just kind of an interesting religious / monarchy battle that's going to be kind of happening there.
Right.
Not really necessarily in the chapter.
Right.
But, so, they say, hey, Apollo's going to stand in for now until they elect somebody. And then, Athena's like, hey, I'm happy. But then she's also like, well, why didn't he talk to me first? Was I not selected for this? Why couldn't I be the person? Because they say Apollo's really, in the book, this says that Apollo's really not the person that would be a very good politician, which would be required to be a commander of the Battlestar Galactica. And because he's, they say he's quick to temper, and he's constantly battling against the, 12, the Council of 12 and everything else. So.
Oh, Baz jumped on. Baz,
you
we
missed
had
out.
Eric Chu. So
yeah, Baz, when you were gone,
and
we had Starbuck on, and she was asking about you, and then because you weren't here, sorry, buddy. So I have a date with her later. It's okay.
Oh, stop dreaming. By the way, guys,
she's married now with a kid, so
I don't know how many of you actually have the book, but this is pretty cool. In the back, there's a glossary of terms. And they break down, like one of you were.
Which, by the way, you were corrected on one of your terms because you said years earlier. And
yes, it's yarns.
Yarns. I forget who corrected you.
And there's something else. There's more. Ha, you tease. Yeah, Baz. There was more. Who was it? I don't know. It was Rob or John or
somebody.
Someone mentioned. Let's see who. Somebody in your or I don't know. Maybe it was. I don't know. We got a couple of Johns, McCartney or Repper. I'm not sure. Were mentioned. Yeah, there's a thing about the weeks and the days, and it's
Centaurs,
all in here. And
there's and you can go back and forth, and that was a.
Oh yeah.
In the original novels, there was a bunch of different.
Yes.
There were wrong pieces in there, as well as when we talked to the writer. Why is it bringing? Anyways, we talked to one of the writers for Battlestar Galactica. I can't think of his name off the top of my head right now.
Terry.
Terry
McDonald.
And he was talking about how the inconsistencies were in the scripts and how they tried to change them, but when you approached the man, Mr. Larson, you better be prepared to go to battle. So they would.
So many did not. Yeah.
So they would just ignore it sometimes.
Yeah. But so that's in this book, which is kind of cool. Robert Baum said that there was a glossary in the program from the 15 Yarn reunion. I don't have mine handy, but okay, cool. He wasn't happy about it. There are quotes from him out there, essentially about actors out there going and writing things. That's from Sean. Yeah. So That's in here, which is kind of cool. So they try to rein that in a little bit, which is I think a smart thing. If you guys get a chance, look up Pop Apostle. He did a really good breakdown on the book itself. So and we've reached out to him, so we're gonna try to get him on the show. So if you're out there and you're listening, we definitely want to have you on. And so yeah, chapter 2 is a very tragic chapter.
Yeah, so I think I also wanted to mention out of chapter 2, I like the it's like there was a list, there was mention of how they were supposed to be deaths. So the death of Adama, there is a specific thing where you're supposed to come in. Just family is supposed ritual. To do it first. Yeah. The kind of a ritual where the family was there, and that was only family. And it's funny they mention Boxy being family, or they do mention. And the other thing they start in this is they start calling him Troy, so that kind of weaves that into Battlestar Galactica 1980 for our Battlestar Galactica 1980 fans out there, all one of you.
Razor Ramon.
Razor Ramon.
Razor Ramon, that's you.
But they talk about Troy being part of the family and how they all got together and then they did his bidding. He wanted them to not mourn. He wanted them to walk out and kind of present the thing. And then Apollo, there's a little bit of the it's a good description of what Apollo's thinking right now. So he's granted he's upset and now he's been thrust into leadership and his second in command is his sister.
Yeah.
That'll go well.
Right. So they kind of mention that, that's pretty cool. So let's see. Baz Arm says, Aussie as I may be, having eaten lots of it on toast, I prefer Promite. Somebody asked him about Vegemite. All right, yeah, it's yes. And Karen, thank you for joining us. So listen, guys, we are slowly making our way through the Battlestar Galactica Armageddon, and next show is going to be chapter 3. Yeah. Well, so if you guys are
yet. I know we're getting close
I'm just
to time
saying,
frame, but
yeah, we are approaching.
We need to talk about the Cassie and Athena battle, and Cassie has a baby.
Your obsession.
Cassie has a baby in this book with Starbuck.
Yes, she does. Yeah, very good.
So Starbuck and Cassie were a thing.
Yeah,
and then they weren't a thing.
Yes,
because Starbuck started messing around with Athena.
Yeah, that was your moment. That was your window.
That was my window, but wait, I still have a window now because Starbuck's dead. Well, maybe.
What is the matter with you, man?
Anyway, so there was the back and forth with them. So this is during a funeral, and they finally air their grievances. Not quite in public, but close. There's a little bit of a battle there. And and Athena and Cassie are kind of at each other a little bit, but they make amends because Starbuck left Cassie after having the baby. What a dog. To be with Athena, and then Athena kicked him out because she wanted to be with this guy named the Tipsy Toaster. What? No comment? Well, it's not in the book, but that's what really happened.
Well, Lola says, can you imagine if these books were made into shows?
Oh my gosh, that'd be great.
And then she said, bad Chris. And Mediocre Modeler says, Athena is with Jar Jar now.
Oh, there's a visual I didn't need.
My God, yes. Oh boy.
So they make up. So Cassie and Athena kind of come to agreement because they've mourned Starbuck now.
Yes.
And now they're mourning the patriarch of the family.
Yeah. Yep. So this is good. This is good. Listen to this. What a huge increase in screen time for Athena if this version had gone to series, from a minor character to a second in command on the Galactica bridge. And at some point, Jeff Walters says, and me here eating a Vegemite sandwich and petting my Daggett. Athena with Binks. Oh boy, that's Paul Roeder and Jeff Walters and John Repper just
They'll stop
going
it, man.
at it, man. Yeah.
Athena and Binks it's not happening. That's
gotta love you guys, man.
That's not happening.
That's what makes this show so much fun, man.
No,
this is incredible.
I can't see that.
Nah, things happen.
No.
Well, Marin did play the evil real life dummy on an episode of Fantasy Island. Be careful what you wish for, Chris. That's from Rob Baum. Yes, very good. You know, I remember seeing.
I gotta go back and rewatch that one. I just rewatched the episode with her in the Love Boat, only because I'm stalking her. So,
oh boy.
I mean, did I say that out loud? I mean, only because I like her a lot.
Can you put the filter back on yourself? Where's the Lucifer, man? Do you have the Lucifer handy?
I can go get him if you want to talk for 2 seconds or 3 seconds.
Everybody wants to
it's
see
funny.
it, so
I have the Lucifer bag. So everything in Lucifer is in a huge shopping bag.
Huge shopping bag.
I got all the sandpaper and everything else because I go from here
go get
my
Lucifer
house
as we
in
wrap
Roanoke
up.
and then back and forth.
Go ahead. All right, stop that. Just get the Lucifer.
All right, I'll be back in a second.
Yeah,
See you in a minute, Chris. Finish the book out. We're almost at the end here.
All right,
finish the chapter. I'll be right back.
So the chapter, look, guys, the chapter.
Hello, Athena. I'll be right there in a second, baby.
Oh my God, here he goes. He's losing his mind. Chris is unbelievable. So yeah, so we talked about the death. We talked a little bit about the whole culture. We talked about they're grieving, and so there's this little bit about Ty, right? And I mentioned earlier that he's already retired. He'd retired previously, and so he's now the only Leonid quorum member hailing from the planet Leonis to ever serve as president of the council. So he wants to make his people proud. So that's kind of nice. That's where Ty retires to. But everybody's a little bit surprised at what they come up with, right? Like they thought that the quorum was going to just approve Apollo, and that's not what happened. So that's kind of interesting. They put in they do put Apollo in, but as an interim commander. His actual rank in the book is lieutenant commander, and so that's so there's this thing that Chris was talking about between Apollo and his sister. Like his sister's like, wait a minute, like what happened? It's like now it's like he's in charge, I'm his XO, and was I thought about, or am I even considered? And and then she just gives in to the fact that their father is passed, and they're gonna all that, whatever that is, they're gonna set that aside. And she just wanted to know, in the back of her mind, it's like, was she wasn't consulted, and was she a choice?
Yeah, was she even considered?
Had even been considered for the job. So that's kind of interesting.
I would follow her.
All right, stop yourself, man. You need to check yourself before you wreck yourself, man. So
whatever she commanded, I would do.
And his child has to grow up without a father like he did. Well, right now, yes, media modeler. That's exactly what's going on.
There was a mention of. I read two different books, so I have to think about this for a second. Whether it was the comic I read or was it this, but I think it was in here that we talked about how somebody graduated early. Was that in the book?
Yes.
Yeah. So
that's
his Starbucks daughter.
Yeah. Yes.
What was her name?
Dayton, I think.
Yeah.
Dalton.
So Starbucks' daughter graduated early from the academy because they wanted her out because she had taken all of the cadets' money.
Yeah. Making up all kinds of new games.
It takes right after her father.
Yeah, no kidding.
So
So
that's
did
Cassie
you get
Cassie and Starbucks
Cassie
daughter.
and Starbuck? Yeah. So that Chris is really, we kind of
And
wrapped
that's kind of
up,
where it ends up.
yeah.
It's the ending of the.
So we'll hit chapter 3 at the next one, right? That's
Yes.
Richard Hatch's Armageddon, and by popular demand, we are bringing in Chris's Lucifer.
Ah, okay.
Let's see the Lucifer.
So I have the Lucifer bag. Lucifer bag is Aldi. So everything I need to work on Lucifer is in the bag because I go back and forth from DC to Roanoke, Virginia, where my other house
Free
is at.
product placement.
Yeah, that's it. Shop at Aldi's. That's where all Lucifers shop at.
And that's the robot, everybody.
Yeah,
Calm
that's-
down.
Yeah, that's it. So what I have here is the Lucifer head. And he's all one color now.
Oh, boy.
And so this black piece here, that is a form. So I just sanded it down. I'm going to be working on that this weekend to make the plastic dome. So this is the vacuum form for that. So this is kind of what that's for. It's the 3D printed part that goes into here. It kind of looks kind of cool with the. Sounds funny. Sorry about the noise. Kind of looks cool on him, but that's not going to be painted or anything else because this is just going to be a form for the plastic.
Wow.
Put that down. So this is Lucifer now. So he's getting there. A couple of spots I missed with the spot putty. I need to go in around the eye.
Okay.
Around the eyes area. There's
Oh man, he looks. Yeah, that looks cool.
But
that looks.
yeah, he's looking
cool.
nice and smooth. He's
Weird.
getting there. I'll hit him with 600 grit sandpaper next.
Okay.
And come on.
All right.
Come into focus.
Lola just says LOL.
Yeah. So I got a couple of spot things around here. So I got a couple of spots here I got to fill in. And then I'll, his nose is probably the smoothest part I've gotten so far. But you know what?
John
It was
says-
really weird. As I was
What,
sanding
John?
his face, it was like, I wonder if there were any girl aisle series.
Listen,
Smooth.
you got
The
listen.
smooth face is like, it's so smooth.
Oh boy.
The little
John Repper
nubs
says,
of ears, the little
listen to me.
nubs.
John Repper says, wear that head while you ride on the city bus at night.
I have to be on this type of the head. I'd be up here, so that's the next thing.
God.
So I got to get this figured out first. Then after I get this and all this figured out, then I have to figure out this part of it.
You have to cut part of it out.
Part
You
of
gotta
what?
cut
out?
like the
The
base
head?
out, the base. The
No,
base
no,
of it. You gotta cut a hole in the base.
No, I have to cut a hole in the base for the electronics or for the battery connection.
We should cut part of it out so you could kind of like put it on your head a little bit.
Well, I think the idea is going to be I'm going to use a construction helmet, either the helmet itself or the band to kind of hold his helmet. But then I need shoulders out here,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
I'm looking to do shoulder pads with PVC pipe to kind of make a shoulder on the sides.
Wow, that's
And then
insane.
and then I'm looking for hands. So I did look for the little hands that the old, remember the grippy hands that people, it's got the toy with the hand thing, the toys that you grip things with, a little.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Thinking about getting get one or two of those, but the problem is they don't make a left hand. They're all right hands.
Well, who
I'm like,
says he has thumbs? He may not have thumbs.
right?
Just
So
cut the
I
thumbs
might
off.
use there's one that has the little clippers like that
that's
for
it.
the left hand,
Right.
and then the right hand will have all fingers. But I thought it'd be kind of cool to have a left and a right hand
Take the
underneath
thumbs
the
off.
costume. So
Take the thumbs off. It's only fingers.
yeah,
That's weird.
that's
Anyway.
where Lucifer is at right now.
Excellent. Thanks.
And he still
Chris, for
smells
showing
like
us. like
Paint.
like Bondo.
No, it smells like paint. Which is
Heads, shoulders, knees, and toes.
yeah,
Where
that's
does
it.
the sideline head go?
Shoulders, knees, and toes.
Where does the sideline head go? John. That's a good one. It's all about the bass. Yes, it is. That's from Rob. All right. Well, great for carpooling. Never see Lucifer's hands on the show. Paul says, "Don't worry about the
you don't.
hands,
You don't
man."
see Lucifer's hand on the show, but I wanted to be able to have something underneath there, so.
All right.
It would have to be. It has to be something longer than my hand because Lucifer's.
Yeah, Lucifer's going to be
robes are really long, so you have to have some. You know, he had some kind of sticks that he used in the show.
Yeah. Oh well. All right, guys. All good things, Chris. It was really cool. We had Eric on, and he shared
amazing.
a lot of. Yeah, it was. It was really good. I'm glad he took his time out and he shared a lot of his professional and some personal stuff, and we're glad that he's good and well, and that's fantastic. So everybody that's watching out there, thank you for tuning in. Chris, I'm gonna do my little thing, right? Thanks everybody for tuning in. We love having you on board. Keep clicking the thumbs up and the subscribes. Don't forget to tell your friends. Let them know that we're here. If you want to contact us, again, email is info@interfleetbroadcasting.com. Everyone, stay safe, be awesome. See you at our next show. Keep the faith, and remember, fans fuel the fleet, and all the best to all of you guys.
Yep,
and thanks again. Hey, Chris Dykes and Chuck Davenport, thank you so much.
Amazing work.
Doing that work for us, and to Eric and all you guys, thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more. Chris?
So fans fuel the fleet, thank you. You make a difference out there, whether it was with your family or was it with the fandom or both. So once again, you guys are awesome, and we enjoy being able to do this with you. So y'all take care.
Take care, everybody.
I gotta switch hands so I can switch over the thing.